Lord, will only a few people be saved? This is the question of one of the disciples today as Jesus is going along on his way. And this is a question that's been asked all throughout the history of Christianity, indeed throughout the history of the world. Really, what happens when we die, and will there be people in heaven or in hell, and how many? How many will there be there? We want to know who's going to be there, and if hopefully that I'll get there, but hopefully I don't go to the bad place either. So Jesus his answer shows that this isn't the right question to be asking. He says to strive to enter through the narrow gate, for many will try to enter but will be unable to. So in a sense, he kind of answers that question, but he says it's not for us to be asking how many people are going to be saved, but rather, what must I do? What must I do to find myself in that place for eternity, to be saved, to be with God in heaven? And he says to strive to enter through the narrow gate. So often we find ourselves striving to enter into other things, to be accepted in worldly ways. We want to be praised for the things we do here. We want to have the money to do whatever we want here on earth. We want to just be accepted in worldly ways, to enter into that worldly prominence. But what he says is to enter through the narrow gate, which is much harder. What it assumes that it is. Because it's one of holiness. It's one of obedience. St. Paul speaks today talking about obedience. Children, be obedient to your parents. But that also means that we are to be obedient to God, to be striving to conform our lives more to God. One theologian once said that the gate is narrow because it is in the shape of Christ. So our lives have to be conformed to Christ, to be shaped like Christ. That's what we can ask the Lord today. Ask for that grace to be more and more conformed to his image, that our lives might look like Jesus here on earth, so that when that time comes, we may enter through that narrow gate, that gate that is in the shape of Jesus Christ.